Ammo is crazy expensive and hard to find, and dry fire is life. I use the Mantis X10 to keep my handgun skills strong, and it makes dry practice fun and challenging. Check it out at the link below.
Hey guys, welcome to Dry Fire Monday, put on by Mantis X and their great system, the X10. This is Active Self-Protection Extra. I'm Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant, and this is the third in a three-part series, and this is performance mode. Steve Anderson calls it the match mode, but a lot of you aren't competitors, and I found with non-competitors that really turns them off. So what we're doing is performing at the highest level, and we have to have some way to do that. That's what performance mode is. We have to understand that we have our ability to perform and what the requirements of the performance are so that we know what to do. Oftentimes, the tactical community believes they don't have a walkthrough. They say that's one of the big problems with shooting competition is their walkthrough. Every morning I get up and I practice, and that's my walkthrough. I have isolated some series or some movements or some combinations of techniques that happen quite frequently in self-defense, and I practice those on a morning basis. Bobby Fischer did this with chess. He broke down the relationship between pieces and how they move together. Same thing with shooting. So that's my walkthrough in the morning. As I walk through the world, or I see a newscast, or I watch one of John's videos, that's a modeling process, and I think, how would I handle this situation? So once again, I'm walking through creating a file system. And at the first signs of danger, I'm going to formulate a plan to execute, unless I'm completely taken by surprise. All right, which means that I will have to fall back on one of my previous models of what to do from that situation. So we always have walkthroughs. It's just whether you're disciplined enough to actually create a walkthrough in your life by 1, practicing at home, and 2, by modeling the environment while you're going through, and then 3, paying enough attention to your environment and not be completely surprised and see some sign of danger coming at you. We earn skill in practice. That's the only place that we can earn skill. If you don't earn it in practice, you're going to be wildly erratic. All right, maybe you get warmed up enough and you shoot okay. Some days you shoot poorly. That's what happens. Practice breeds consistency, efficiency, accuracy, and it is a form of discipline. Now, a lot of performance mode is what we do before we engage in whatever is about to happen. We can get a lot of tasks out of the way. So I'm going to shoot a really simple drill for you. I've got a fine range master Q target up here. I'm going to shoot the trifecta drill that I've demonstrated before. That's 1 to the body, and then on a draw, 1 to the head on a draw, and 1 to the small circle on the side, which we call the parrot because it's sitting on the shoulder, Tom Gibbons terminology. 1 round to that. What I need to do is modulate how fast I draw the gun, building my grip, how smoothly I stop the gun, how much sight I'm going to see, how long I'm going to take with it, and how I press the trigger to the rear. So I get a lot out of this. And for the armed citizen, being able to draw and get the first round hit, we know is the crucial, the quintessential skill if you'll have it. All right. Posture begins before the fight. If you have a chance to face your adversary, you should stand up straight and tall. You should get in a good position. Your feet should point towards them. You should drop your head, and you should get ready to fight, because you're communicating with your body, not just your language, that there's preparation and you're willing to engage in this situation if you have to. All right. Lord forbids we don't want to, but we have to know that we're going to communicate that we're resolute in our posture. Grip is really the key for this one. If you get a good grip on the gun, your index is going to be good. You're going to be able to visually verify the sights and press the trigger accordingly. So grip is really the manager of this. And I like to grip the ground, I like to grip the gun, so my whole body is involved in the grip process. When I shoot, I'm going to visualize what I see. Mindset is a series of associations and expectations. That's what it means. So I'm going to see the sight in the middle of the target. When I see it in the middle of the target, I'll press the trigger. If I don't see it in the middle of the target, then I'll correct and press the trigger, with the exception of that giant body target. I may just see the back of the gun as long as it's in the center of the target, because it's so large. That's about 8 inches, the head's about 4, the circle's about 2. So they're going to require different visual focuses. That means I'm going to see a flash on the first one, I'm going to see floating on the second one, I'm going to be focused on the third one. So I'm modulating the speed of processing there, which should equate to about a 1/4 second split between each of those. All right. Process, or some of you call it follow through. I'm not a big fan of that. It's kind of an archery term or a long gun term where you have to stay still as the bullet exits. I understand what they're saying, but we have to stay in the process. Whatever we're doing is the key thing to be doing, unless something changes and we're driven by our awareness to something has changed, then we have to change, but stay in the process. It governs all of this and allows you to shoot. And occasionally, when you get to a very high level, it'll allow you to change or to do what Scott calls a preemption before the technique happens. Very important that you exhale. We always say breathe, but I'm going to say specifically exhale. Let the air out of your lungs before you go. That way your lungs are moving, your body's in motion, therefore your mind will be in motion. That's how you thaw the freeze. You guys have noticed I can't stand still out here. I like to wiggle, move around because I want to be in action. The standing still thing's very hard, and I find it very artificial in shooting that we have to stand in a dead still like we're going to draw. Fights simply don't happen like that. I know why we do it. It's hard to train people without doing that, but it still chafes me just a bit sometimes. All right, and the final thing is we just have to, once we make our process, everything's ready, we got to let go. Okay, some people quiet their eye and stare specifically at the target. I think it's a really good practice. I like to visualize the touch of the gun, how it's going to feel in my hand. That's my grip. I like to visualize what the sights are going to be. So I'm feeling what the gun's going to feel like in my hand, and what the sights are going to see, and then I'm going to press the trigger. I like to sing a little song to me. I'm a big fan of Metallica, so I give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Somewhere along that time, it's going to beep. I'm going to be preoccupied, and then I simply execute the skill that I already have relative to the size of the target. All right, it's only a 3-round drill. You do get 3 mulligans, so if you make a mistake, you can go ahead and try again. The only thing I say is if you did get the one in before that, then it no longer counts. Whatever your final one is, that's the score that you get. The way this breaks down, you should be able to do this whole drill in 3 seconds. 0.8 draw to the body, 1 to the head, and a 1-2 to the parrot. All right, that's a 3-second drill. I haven't quite hit it yet. 302, 303, I'm right in that range, sometimes 3.5, 3.6. Just depends how things work out. It's got to be perfect to get 3 perfect draws like that, but I will continue to chase that and push at it. That is not an immediate goal. That's a long-term goal. As I improve my draw and I improve my mechanics, I imagine it will manifest itself. All I'm letting do is go right now. The only thing that really matters is seeing. I have to look deeply into the target. You've got to see, you've got to process, because that's going to allow you to do it. You also have to feel which way you're directing. Don't talk to yourself. Get the talking out of the way. Words get in the way and they occupy us, and it's a different part of the mind than we want the one shooting. So if you're talking to yourself, you're using up a lot of energy that could be going into processing. We only get about 7 bits a sec, and that's it. We get 7 bits per 1/18 of a second. So we don't get a lot of information. We have to pay attention to a little bit of information that we're getting. All right, let's see what this looks like. Let's shoot it. I'll write the scores down. I'll add the score together. Very simple scoring system. It must be inside the target. Line breaks count. If somebody line breaks your eye, it's going to count. If you get shot right here, you're going to be pretty upset about it. So we're going to count line breaks on it. If it's out, it's a miss, and it's a DQ on that one, so you have to shoot it again if you have any mulligans. If you get more than 3 mulligans, then you're out. You just haven't made the target. Get back to work and practice. All right, let's see what it looks like. So that's a 104. Now, you'll wonder, should I shoot that again? Can I get it a little lower? I probably can. I found it's not particularly a better idea for me, but we'll do it for the camera and see how it works out. Let's watch one more time. That time it worked out. That's good. So that's a 92. So we're going to keep that score as a 92. I want to write it up here at the target. So there's my first score. Okay, now one to the head. Watch how I'm just going to still myself. I'm going to forget about you guys as much as I can so that I'm just shooting. That was a pretty good one. That's a 108. I'm not going to mess with that. That's really at my skill level, so I'm going to keep that one. Okay, I'm going to shoot the parrot now. Shooting the one on the right. So 336. That's my on-demand cold performance to the day. I haven't been shooting before this. So the only thing that's cold is my mind a little bit. I can probably drop 2/10 off of that if I warm up pretty good and really groove in. But that's my performance mode right there. So 3 shots, pretty good evaluation. The stress is palatable when I do this. I'm in front of you guys and I'm trying to perform. At the level, what I have to do is simply let myself perform. I have to clear the mind and get into it so that I know this is available to me all the time. All right. And those are pretty good draws. Those are pretty good draws. You know, the 2-inch circle is about the same as the 8-inch circle out there at 25 yards. So it gives us a pretty good draw. If I can get a 136 on a 20 or 25 yard target, I feel pretty good about that. I was seeing clearly, little tense. I could feel the tension creeping up into my body. It's probably going to appear in the camera a little bit. So something that I want to work on is making sure that I continue to exhale and do a good job. Guys, I could talk about performance mode forever because this is the key ingredient, but you build it during accuracy and speed, and you put them together in this mode, and it's seeing deeply. That's what performance mode is really about, feeling exactly what you're doing, seeing deeply, and then being able to execute in the moment. So make sure you practice all 3 modalities. Now listen, if you haven't watched the other 2 videos, you really need to go back and do it. You need to work on efficiency, you need to work on speed and precision, and then put them together here. Even if you get it out of order, you can still start working. You just need to know how to build up your bases. It's interesting. We're going to have to practice a lot to change things. But the reason we have to practice a lot is because our ego simply makes us do the same things over and over. So when you're ready to sacrifice an extra movement or to relax, those things will allow you to progress very quickly. And knowing that you can do this sort of performance on demand is crucial. Don't avoid stressful situations. Fear is your friend and your companion. It goes with you everywhere, and it keeps us alive, and it's a big part of us. We all feel it. We all feel that stress. You know, fear turned outward is anger. Fear turned inward is depression. We all feel fear all the time, so we have to learn how to welcome it and to use our chemistry to make ourselves stronger and faster and be able to focus in the moment and practice on the bits that really matter. All right, guys, active self-protection. Hit the like button, subscribe. Please leave a comment. Talk to me about this. See where you're at and see if I can answer any questions for you. I'm Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant, and remember, measure, refine, and perform.